Hello and welcome. My name is PapaSean. This is Foxhole, and we're going to show you how to do pavement. So first thing you're going to need is you're going to need to find yourself a coal field, and if you look on the map, they're going to look like these. The coal fields, you're going to be able to take your hammer and bang on those black rocks over there, and then once you've gathered up the coal, you're going to want to bring them to a refinery. The refinery is located in one of the back area of your towns. Refineries are going to allow you to turn that coal into gravel. And you can see this refinery actually has a bunch of gravel, so you can skip the first step if you happen to have a refinery that has gravel nearby. Get a truck, pick it up, bring it back to where you want it. You're going to need to also have a construction vehicle, so you want to load that gravel into the construction vehicle. And then once you're inside, note that there's going to be two sides, a driver and a passenger. If you hold Shift Q, you can choose which spot you want. You're going to want the driver. In the driver's seat, you can push the B key, and then there's going to be different filters. And if you go to the far right tab, you'll be able to see all the different segments that are for foundations. There's also provision road, which will also use gravel, so something to note there. So there's different pieces, and something key here is that the larger the piece, the more efficient the use of gravel. So if we take a 2x2, it's going to be 150 gravel, whereas a 2x1 is only going to be 115. So you have a 45 variance between them. So it's a pretty big savings if you go with the 2x2 foundations if you have large spaces. And then there's also the single space, which is 75. So again, savings with the 2x1 over the single piece for 75. It's basically half off for the 2x2. All right, so this is one of the foundations I've got going on right now. It's a 1x1, and if you get started on it, banging on it, then it will kind of lock it in place, the blueprint. If you select the blueprint but don't actually begin the work on it, then it will kind of fall off there. So trying to kind of snap that position into place, it's not really going to fit right there well because it's too close to the tracks, I think. That area is obstructed. But there is that corner piece that you can use, and as far as the cost for the corner piece, that too is going to be 75. It's the same as the 1x1. The 2x2, and you can see how it kind of snaps to everything, right? And the reason it's showing red is not because I can't build it. It has like a little tooltip that says I'm too far from. So as I drive closer, it'll turn green. All right. So you can see how you can snap it in different places. So if I wanted to put an efficient use piece, I could put it right here, and I could begin building as well. You can have multiple going at the same time. And if you do ride over it, let me show you that. You ride over it, it'll break the blueprint. You haven't lost anything, it just resets that. All right, and then one thing to note is that after you break something like that, let me move out of the way. You can rebuild, but if I go back to it, if I get to it too quickly, it's going to say that you know, too soon to build. You have to wait about 5 seconds from the first attempt at building. So you can have multiple of these going around. If you decide that you don't like where it's at, you can actually pull out your gun, and if you've got some ammo in it, as long as it's blue, it's a blueprint, hasn't yet been created, it is susceptible to friendly fire, so you can destroy it that way, just shooting that up. All right, and then the provisional road, if we take a look at that, get a little closer in on this, you can drive over the blueprint once you've gotten it started with some. So that way you can map out how you want things, and then you can actually spend all your resources. So this is kind of a click and drag. You can see how the area is obstructed over there, but you can make a provision road, and they go out pretty far, and it's going to be the same amount of gravel. All right, so hopefully this helps you guys as you build out your base and gravel it up. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, happy questing.